am acutely aware that you are alone, basking in the quiet tranquility of your solitude, and this awareness brings a sharp pang of sorrow to my heart. It is not sorrow born of pity or distance, but rather a strange, aching kind of pain that comes from a place of deep affection and profound concern. To know that you sit in silence, alone with your thoughts, fills me with both tenderness and longing. I do not wish to disturb your solitude, for I know how precious it can be, but I cannot help but yearn to be there with you, to sit beside you in the stillness, and to transform what is solitary into something shared, a mutual companionship where silence itself becomes a language of love. I long to feel your presence, to draw near enough that I might sense the subtle, almost imperceptible shifts in your mood. I want to be attuned to the rhythm of your breathing, to the quiet pauses of your thoughts, to offer you a comforting presence in those fragile, solitary moments. Your warmth is something I miss with an intensity that words barely capture. It is not merely the warmth of touch, though that is something I crave endlessly, but the emotional warmth that seems to flow so effortlessly from you. It is in the way your presence fills a room, in the way your laughter is capable of lighting up the darkest corners, in the way even your quiet strength can become a source of comfort during life's most trying times. These memories of your warmth return to me constantly, and each time they do, I feel the ache of absence just a little deeper. Often I picture us together in my mind, sitting side by side, not needing to speak, simply sharing a silence that feels natural, a silence that comforts instead of isolates. I imagine the stillness wrapped around us, yet infused with something vibrant, something alive, because of the nearness we share. I want to rest in your warmth again, to let it seep into my being until it fills the cold, empty spaces that your absence has left behind. The idea of being in your presence, not even needing grand gestures or dramatic words, but simply existing together, is a vision that sustains me when the ache of longing grows too heavy. This longing for you has only intensified as the days stretch on. It is like a constant hum in the background of my thoughts, a persistent tug at the edge of my consciousness that never fully disappears. No matter what else I turn my attention to, the thought of you lingers, sometimes sharp and insistent, other times quiet but steady, always there, always pulling. I desire to be close to you, to touch you, to feel the physical reality of your nearness. Yet, what I seek is not confined to the physical alone. My heart craves a deeper closeness, one that transcends the body. It is emotional, mental, and spiritual as well, a yearning for a bond that feels complete, whole, and unbreakable. What I long for is intimacy in its truest form, a closeness that is as much about understanding and trust as it is about desire and passion. The urge to reach out to you grows stronger each day. At times it feels overwhelming, almost unbearable, a need that rises in my chest like a tide and refuses to be ignored. You occupy my thoughts so completely that I often find myself lost in them, your image etched into the canvas of my mind, your voice lingering like a melody I cannot stop hearing. I long to call you, to text you, to bridge the distance with words, even if only briefly, just so you might know how much I want your attention, your affection, your presence. And yet, it is not merely about wanting. It is about needing. I need to know how you are, what fills your days, where your thoughts wander, not out of control or insecurity, but because of love, because of the deep concern that springs from caring so fully for someone. Sometimes I wonder if you feel the same pull I do. Do you, too, lie awake and feel that invisible magnetic force drawing us together? Do you sense the bond that grows stronger with each passing day, even across distance and silence? These questions echo in my heart, and though I do not always have answers, the asking itself reminds me of how deeply I care. I hope you miss me as I miss you. I hope the same longing hums quietly in your chest, a constant reminder that what we share is real, that it grows even in absence. My love, it becomes increasingly difficult to focus on other parts of life when the soul is so hungry for connection. Ordinary tasks feel incomplete, like trying to read a book in a language I cannot understand, or attempting to solve a puzzle with too many missing pieces. Nothing quite fits, nothing fully satisfies, because the absence of you has left a space that nothing else can fill. My thoughts drift toward you when I should be elsewhere. My heart leans toward you even when distance insists otherwise. It is hard to concentrate when every part of me is oriented toward you, when every quiet moment becomes an echo of my longing. This is the truth of what I feel. You are not simply a passing thought, but a constant presence in my inner world. My need for your closeness, your care, and your attention is not fleeting, it is as steady as my own heartbeat. Just as I long for you, I hope with every part of me that you long for me too, just as deeply, just as completely, just as I do. Your partner is currently struggling with a deep and overwhelming sense of sadness, a melancholy that weighs heavily on their heart. This sorrow stems from the lack of contact and connection between the two of you over the past several months. The silence, the absence of your voice, and the emptiness left by the lack of communication have been a burden they now realize they helped create. It has been a constant reminder of the distance that has grown between you, and this void has forced them to confront the reality of their actions and choices. They cannot ignore the fact that their behavior contributed to this separation, and the realization of this truth cuts deeply into them. They have come to acknowledge that, during this time apart, they acted selfishly. Their decisions, whether conscious or unconscious, tipped the balance of your relationship and made it feel one-sided. Instead of nurturing the connection you shared, they allowed their pride and ego to dominate their actions. Only after your parting words, words that carried both truth and finality, did they begin to reflect seriously on their role in the breakdown of the relationship. The separation gave them time to sit with themselves, to look back honestly at what they had done, and to understand the impact of their choices. Now, with painful clarity, they see how much emotional distress they caused you. They realize that their behavior left you feeling neglected, isolated, and abandoned, as though you had been left out in the cold with no one to lean on. This awareness has brought them face to face with the guilt of knowing they were the source of your pain. This realization has filled them with immense remorse. They regret their mistakes with every fiber of their being and wish desperately that they could turn back time to make different choices. But while regret is a heavy burden, it has also opened their eyes to something profound about you. In reflecting on what they lost, they have come to see clearly what sets you apart from everyone else. It is not just your physical beauty, though that certainly draws attention, it is something much deeper. There is a softness, a nurturing presence, an energy that is uniquely yours. This aura, this warmth, is something they now recognize as irreplaceable. It is what drew them in from the beginning and what continues to pull at their heart even now. Being around you made them feel seen, supported, and alive in a way no one else ever has. Yet, as powerful as this realization is, it also brings with it shame. They are embarrassed when they think about how often they ignored you when you were offering them your full attention, your love, and your devotion. You gave so much of yourself to them, more than you gave to anyone or anything else in your life, and in return, they disregarded your efforts. They chose to look away from the love you poured into them, failing to honor the depth of your affection. Now, in the quiet of this separation, they find themselves longing for what they once had. They yearn for the comfort of your love, the steady presence of your attention, and the joy of your affection. They miss the way you cared, the way you offered yourself unconditionally, and they are haunted by the truth that they only fully understand the value of these gifts now that they are gone. It is often said that people only realize the worth of something, or someone, once it has been taken away. Your partner now embodies this truth. They are living through the consequences of their pride and ego, recognizing how these traits clouded their judgment and poisoned their actions. They see clearly now how their need to protect their pride prevented them from being vulnerable with you, from meeting you with the same openness and generosity you showed them. Instead, they allowed jealousy, stubbornness, and insecurity to influence their behavior. In doing so, they caused you pain when all you had ever done was offer them love without condition. The weight of this realization leaves them ashamed, as they understand the harm they inflicted not just on you but also on the relationship you were building together. Now, they are left with a profound sense of loss. They know they let something precious slip through their fingers, something rare and deeply meaningful. They once took for granted the love you gave so freely, and now they must live with the knowledge that their actions may have cost them the most important relationship of their life. They spend their days reflecting on what they had and what they let go, wishing they could undo the damage, and hoping for the chance to make amends. Their regret is not passive, it pushes them to grow, to examine themselves more deeply than ever before, and to commit to becoming a better person. They are beginning to understand that mistakes, while painful, can also be powerful teachers. Through this period of separation and reflection, they are learning the importance of humility, accountability, and reciprocity in love. They are learning that love cannot thrive where pride and ego take root. And most importantly, they are learning that your love, your unique presence, and the care you offered them, was never something to be taken lightly. Above all else, they are hoping for another chance. They long for the opportunity to show you that they can change, to demonstrate through actions rather than words that they have grown from their mistakes. They want to prove that they can honor the love you once gave them, that they can set aside pride, and that they are truly sorry for the pain they caused. Their greatest hope is not just for reconciliation but for the chance to rebuild, to nurture the bond they damaged, and to show you that your love was not wasted. Though they cannot undo the past, they are determined to learn from it. They know that the weight of regret will never fully leave them, but they want to use that weight as motivation to become someone better, someone more worthy of the love you once so generously offered. They carry with them both sorrow for what was lost and hope for what might still be possible. And in that hope, they hold tightly to the belief that love, when met with sincerity and change, can heal even the deepest of wounds.